I want to touch on some shapes. So you're going to be given questions about some shapes, and you're going to need to know what those shapes are because, well, you're going to need to know. So let's see here. We're going to be asked, hang on 1 sec, I'm just checking something. We're going to need to be asked if given 4 points, do these 4 points that are the 4 corners or vertices of a quadrilateral, if these 4 points, when connected, make a quadrilateral, do they make a square, a rectangle, a parallelogram, a trapezoid? You're going to be asked questions like that. Now, you know how to find the slope between different points. So now that you know that, you'll be able to answer if something is a square, rectangle, parallelogram, or trapezoid if you know what those shapes have as far as parallel lines and perpendicular lines. So let's go through this briefly. A rectangle, I know you probably know this, but just hear me out for 10 seconds. A rectangle has opposite sides that are equal in length, opposite sides that are parallel, so have the same slope, and the adjacent sides, adjacent, spelt this way, A-D-J-A-C-E-N-T, adjacent is a fancy word for something being beside one another. So this side is adjacent to this side. This side is adjacent to this side. This side is adjacent to this side, and so on. Okay? So adjacent sides are perpendicular. Opposite sides are parallel. Okay? That's a rectangle. We know it's the exact same thing with a square, except that the 4 sides are also equal in length to change from a rectangle to a square. What's a parallelogram? A parallelogram is opposite sides are parallel or have the same slope. So I've just denoted that with notation. One little arrow means those sides are equal, or have the same slope, and double arrow means those sides with the same symbols have the same slope. These could be perpendicular, but they don't have to be. What has to happen for a parallelogram is opposite sides have the same slope. Trapezoid. What's a trapezoid? A trapezoid is a quadrilateral, 4-sided figure where one pair of opposite sides are parallel. That's it. That's what a trapezoid is. So again, rectangle, opposite sides are parallel and have the same slopes, and adjacent sides are perpendicular. So if you wanted to prove something's a rectangle, you'd have to find the slopes of that to that, that to that, that to that, that to that, see that these are the same, see these are the same, and see that these are negative reciprocals. If you want to prove something is a parallelogram and you're given the coordinates of these 4 points, you'll have to find slope, 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 slope between all those pairs of points and check that those have the same slope and those have the same slope. For trapezoid, you need to find the slope of these two, between these two, between these two, and between these 2 points, and then check that only one pair of opposite sides have the same slope. So you're going to be using that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. There's no need to practice memorizing it. You're going to do so many questions, you will have it memorized.